Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are going to explore why so many people quit too early, even when they may be closer to success than they think. If you enjoy calm and meaningful English stories, stay with me until the end. Starting with hope, stopping too soon. Every day, many people begin something new with hope. They start a better habit, make a fresh plan, or promise themselves that this time they will really change. In the beginning, the feeling is often strong. They feel motivated, clear, and ready. For a short time, the future looks different in their mind, and that picture gives them energy. But after a while, something changes. The habit becomes harder. The work feels repetitive, and the result is still small or invisible. The first excitement begins to fade, and doubt slowly takes its place. A person starts asking, boy, is this really working? Skoro yever, maybe this is not for me, Seranu. Then one day they stop, not because the dream was impossible, but because the progress was too slow to feel real. This happens more often than people realize. Many people do not fail because they are lazy or untalented. They fail because they leave too early. They stop in the part where effort is real but reward has not arrived yet. That middle space is quiet, tiring, and often lonely. It does not look impressive, and it does not give quick proof that the hard work is worth it. That is why so many dreams end before they have the chance to grow. People start with hope, but they do not stay long enough to see change happen. So the real question is not only why people fail. The deeper question is this: why do most people quit too early? Especially when they may have been closer than they thought. The beginning feels easy. At the beginning, almost everything feels possible. A new goal can make a person feel excited, fresh, and full of energy. They imagine a better future and see a different version of themselves in their mind. That picture feels powerful. It gives hope. And hope can make the first few days feel easier than they really are. This is why many people start strongly. They make a plan, create a schedule, and tell themselves that this time will be different. For a while, they believe it fully. The habit feels new. The dream feels close, and the effort feels meaningful. In the beginning, motivation is often high because the mind is still living in imagination. It is thinking about what could happen, not about how hard the process may become. But beginnings are often easier than the middle. At the start, people are carried by emotion. They feel inspired by the idea of change. The problem is that emotion does not always stay. After some time, the work becomes more normal. The person is no longer excited by the idea alone. Now they must face repetition, patience, and slow progress. That is where the real test begins. The start feels exciting because it is full of possibility. The middle feels harder because it is full of reality. And many people are not ready for that change. They think something is wrong because the excitement is fading. When in truth, this is often the most normal part of growth. So the problem is not that they began badly. The problem is that they expected the beginning feeling to carry them all the way. When that feeling disappears, they do not know how to continue without it. The middle is where most people quit. After the beginning, something important changes. The excitement becomes weaker, and the process starts to feel more ordinary. This is the stage where many people begin to struggle. They are no longer carried by strong emotion, but they still do not see clear results. The work feels real, yet the reward still feels far away. This is the middle, and for many people it is the hardest part. The middle is quiet. It is often boring. It looks almost the same every day. A person keeps trying, but nothing seems dramatic yet. Their progress is small, slow, and easy to miss. Because of that, they begin to question everything. They wonder if the effort is worth it, if the path is right, or if they are simply wasting time. This is where many dreams begin to weaken, not because the person no longer wants the goal, but because the goal no longer feels close. The start had energy, the middle has repetition. And repetition is hard for people who were hoping for quick proof that their effort was working. That is why so many people quit here. They mistake slow progress for no progress. They think that because the result is not visible yet, nothing important is happening. But many good things in life grow quietly for a long time before they can be clearly seen. The middle does not feel exciting, but it is often where real change is being built. Sadly, this is also where many people leave. They stop in the quiet part, just before the effort has enough time to become something visible. And because they leave too early, they never learn how close they may have been. Pain feels faster than progress. One reason people quit in the middle is that pain feels faster than progress. Effort is easy to feel right away. A hard workout makes the body tired today. Studying makes the mind tired today. Building a new habit feels uncomfortable today. But the result often does not arrive today. It comes later, sometimes much later. That delay is where many people begin to lose patience. The mind wants proof. It wants to see that the hard work is leading somewhere. But progress is often quiet at first. It may be happening in small ways that are difficult to notice. Because of that, the person feels the cost before they feel the reward. They feel the tiredness, the boredom, and the frustration, but they do not yet feel the success they imagined. This creates a very difficult emotional moment. A person begins to think, "Oh, I am doing so much, but nothing is changing." That thought can be dangerous because it makes the process look empty even when it is not. The effort may still be building something valuable, but the result is still hidden under the surface. That is why people often quit too early. They respond to the pain they can feel now and walk away before the progress becomes visible. They do not leave because nothing was happening. They leave because what was happening was still too quiet to encourage them. In many parts of life, pain is immediate, but progress is delayed. If a person does not understand that, they may believe the work is failing when it is actually still growing. And that misunderstanding causes many people to stop, right in the part where patience matters most. Fear and self-doubt make people stop. Pain and slow progress are difficult enough, but fear and self-doubt often make the situation even harder. When results take time, the mind does not always stay calm. It begins to ask painful questions. What if I am not good enough? What if this is not for me? What if I started too late? These thoughts can grow quickly, especially when the person is already tired. At this stage, self-doubt becomes very dangerous. It takes one slow week and turns it into a bigger story. A person no longer sees only a difficult moment. They begin to see themselves as the problem. Instead of thinking, "This is taking time," so they start thinking, So maybe I cannot do this. That small change in thinking can destroy patience. Fear also plays an important role. Some people are afraid that if they continue and still fail, the disappointment will hurt even more. So quitting early feels safer. If they stop now, they can tell themselves the dream was too hard or the timing was wrong. But if they keep going and still do not succeed, then they may have to face deeper pain. Because of that, fear quietly pushes them toward the exit. This is why many people quit too soon. The path may still be right, but their belief becomes weak. Their effort is still alive, but their patience is already broken. Fear tells them to protect themselves, and self-doubt tells them they were never going to make it anyway. In the end, many people do not stop because the goal is impossible. They stop because doubt becomes stronger than trust, and fear becomes louder than the quiet progress that is still growing. What successful people do differently? People who succeed are not always more talented, more confident, or more lucky. Very often they simply stay longer. They continue through the part that feels slow, boring, and uncertain. While many others stop in the middle, they keep going long enough for progress to become visible. This does not mean they always feel motivated. In fact, many successful people probably feel tired, doubtful, and frustrated too. The difference is that they do not treat those feelings as a sign to stop. They understand that discomfort is often part of the process. They know that repetition is not failure. It is often the price of growth. Successful people also learn to respect small progress. They do not wait for big results every day. They accept that improvement can be quiet for a while. One day may not look very different, but many days together can change everything. Because of that, they keep showing up, even when the reward is still far away. Another important difference is patience. They give their effort enough time to work. They do not judge the whole journey too early. They understand that many valuable things take longer than the heart expects. Instead of asking, "Oh, why is this taking so long?" So they keep asking, what is the next step I can still do? So that is why they often reach places others do not. It is not always because they are special. Sometimes it is because they stayed through the quiet middle. They endured the slow season. And by staying longer than most people, they finally reach the part where effort begins to look like success. Maybe you are not failing. Maybe you are only in the slow part of the journey. That is an important thought to remember, especially when life feels quiet and the result is still hard to see. Many people stop too early because they think nothing is happening. But in many cases, something is happening. It is simply happening slowly, deeply, and without much visible proof at first. This is why patience matters so much. A dream does not always grow in a way that the eyes can quickly measure. A stronger habit, a better skill, a healthier mind, or a new life direction may take longer than expected. That does not mean the effort is wasted. It may only mean the growth is still hidden. So if you are tired, frustrated, or tempted to stop, do not judge the whole journey by one difficult season. One hard week does not mean the path is wrong. One slow month does not mean change is impossible. Sometimes the only thing standing between a person and real progress is a little more time, a little more trust, and the courage to continue. Most people quit before the result becomes clear. They stop in the quiet middle and never discover what would have happened if they had stayed. But you do not have to leave, just because the answer has not arrived yet. Maybe this is not the end of your progress. Maybe it is simply the part where growth is still becoming strong enough to be seen. So stay a little longer, keep going a little further. The thing you are building may still be closer than you think.